Alright, welcome to this video, my loving friends. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for supporting me. Today I will be showing you how to properly cut shoulder dart bustier, that is princess dart bustier, step by step, in a way that you understand it. First of all, you fold your dress into two. I'm cutting the front part first before I cut my back part. Now I start to take my measurement from my shoulder. I measure, first of all, I measure my upper bust. My upper bust is in between my shoulder to my bust. So this is where my upper bust ends. Please always place this 6 inches for your shoulder bust, for your upper bust. Now after that, I measure my under bust. My under bust is 16 inches. My waistline is 20 inches. I'm making it full blouse. Now my blouse is 26 inches. I add 1.5 for my sewing allowance. Please let me explain this, my 20 inches. Because some people may be saying, why 20 inches is too much? Now, normally, your waistline length measurement is 20 inches. If you want to know where your waistline is, use your finger and touch your navel. When you're measuring anybody or yourself, where your navel is your waistline. Now, if you're making a full blouse, always make use of this 20 inches for your waistline. But if you're making it if you are adding peplum on your blouse, this your 20 inches minus 2 inches from it, you use 18 inches in case if you're adding your peplum. But if you're making a full blouse, always make use of this your 20 inches. Now after I've taken this my measurement, I connect all the lines together. I make the line straight. All right, I straight all the whole line. So I've done that. The next thing to do now is to get my breast point. This is my breast point, but let me explain to you how I get this breast point. Although I have made the video on how to calculate your breast point, your nipple to nipple. Now, how to get this your breast point? From this your under bust here, take your tape and place your tape under the under bust like this and measure up, please. From your under bust, go up by 3 inches. So when I go up by 3 inches, this is my breast point. All right, don't measure your breast point from your shoulder. Don't use your tape and measure your customer from shoulder to get the her breast point. No, you won't get it right. Always measure from the under bust, go up to get your breast point. Now I've gotten my breast point. This is my breast point, and I've made this straight line. Now for me to get my nipple to nipple, it also has calculation. We use our bust to calculate our nipple to nipple. I've also made video on how to know my nipple to nipple. It has calculation. I have calculated my own. Mine is 10 inches. I divided it into what I got was 5 inches. Now is this 5 inches? I will take it straight to my full length. I've make it straight. Now if I take it now, look at it now, it's 5 inches. All right, it's 5 inches. I hope you'll see what I'm doing here. It's 5 inches. From my breast point here, I measure the 5 inches all the way to the full length of my blouse. Stop it here. Now from here, before I will connect it to the upper side, I want to explain this upper side for you first. Now the next thing to do is to take your shoulder measurement after you might have taken your nipple to nipple and your breast point. Now my shoulder measurement is 16 inches. When I divide the 16 inches, what I got there was 8 inches. 8 inches. I don't normally add any other allowance. That 8 inches is my normal shoulder measurement. Now because I'm making it shoulder bustier, all right, shoulder princess shoulder dart, I need to add 2 inches. Now from this my 8 inches where my shoulder ends, I add extra 2 inches. I hope you get it. I add extra 2 inches. 2 inches here. All right. Now this one now is my new original shoulder. From there I measure my armhole. How to get your armhole? You don't need to use your tape to measure your armhole. Whatever you get from your shoulder, that is what we use for your armhole. Now my armhole My shoulder is 8 inches. That same 8 inches is what I will use for my armhole, and my armhole is 8 inches. Now, I don't normally place my shoulder slope, but in case if you want to place your shoulder slope, is optional. Your shoulder slope will be 1 inches, 1 inches or half inches. But whatever you remove as your shoulder slope, please always add it at the down part here. That is, instead of this 8 inches, now it will not be 9 inches. Alright? Because if you don't add anything and you remove your shoulder slope, after making your dress, it will tight your armhole. Always add whatever you are removing from your shoulder slope, add it to the down part. That makes it your armhole and connect it. But all my dress, I don't remove shoulder slope. I've tried it before, it's not working right. I'm okay with it, with this particular one I'm doing now. Now the next thing to do is to take my neck measurement. The width of my neck measurement is 3.5. 3.5 is the width of my neck measurement. Now the width of my neck measurement for the front is 6 inches. I've made video again on how to cut different type of neckline. Now this is my neck. I first of all make it straight like this, 4 corner, before I use my hand to curve it. But if you have French curve, it will be very, very easy for you to do so. Alright, so I've gotten this my armhole. I've gotten my neckline very well. Now the next thing I'll be doing now, I'll be removing my dart from my under bust. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. Alright, now like I said, this is my breast point, this is my under bust. Sorry for that. Let me explain something for you. Before you remove your dart measurements, if you are making dress for bust 32 to 35, what you remove from the under bust is 1.5. If you are making bust 32, you can write it down. If you are making bust 32 to bust 35, what you remove from the under bust is 1.5. And if you are making bust 36 to 42, what you remove is 2 inches. And if you are making bust 43 to 46, what you remove is 2.5. Because the bust I'm making is bust 42, what I'll be removing from this my under bust is 2 inches. This is my 2 inches I'm removing here. I've removed 2 inches from my under bust. I removed 2 inches. And this is my under bust here. So this same 2 inches, I will take it straight to my full length. The same 2 inches. You can take it straight down first before curving it. Alright. So before curving it, okay, let me take it straight down so that you understand what I'm doing. I don't want you to get confused for it. Sorry for that. It's the same that 2 inches. After that, I make it straight like that. Connect it straight. I hope it sits. I make it straight. Alright. Now I stop it from this my under bust here. From under bust, I take that same 2 inches. I follow this pattern for you not to get confused. I follow it straight, 2 inches straight to my full length here. Now I come down, I go up to my breast point. For this my breast point, for that breast point here not to be point, I go up by 1 inches and I come down by 1 inches. Alright, that is what I always do in all my videos. I go up by 1 inches and I come down by 1 inches to connect it to my under bust. Now after that, I go up to my upper bust. Look at my upper bust here. Whatever I remove from my under bust, the same thing I might not have from the upper bust. But before there, let me go straight. Let me explain this upper side first before this particular upper bust. This my neckline and my first shoulder. I hope you get it. This is my first shoulder measurement. Let me go down here. why saying this particular side. This is my first normal shoulder measurement before I add this 2 inches. Now this first, forget about this one I added. All right, this my first shoulder measurement. I'm going to divide it into 2. I use my tape to measure it. What I got is 5 inches from the neck part here to my first original shoulder part. I measure it. What I got is 5 inches. Now this 5 inches I got, I will divide it into 2. When I divide it, what I got there was 2.5. That 2.5 I choke it there. All right, look at it here like this. What I did here, from this my neck part to my shoulder, for my first shoulder, I divide it into 2 to get this is 2.5. I make choke there. I choke it there. Now I'm going to connect this work here to my breast point. To this my breast point here. I hope you are getting it right. All right. So I will use my ruler now to connect from this my breast point here. Connect this straight to this shoulder side that I divided. So this is what I'll be doing. Now let me get my ruler. Now I take my ruler to connect it. This is my camera, you see me. Sorry for this camera. This work I'm doing today is the camera. So now I use this. I place my ruler on top this one I divided on top my breast point and connect it. Make straight lines to meet it together. Please, I'm sorry for this camera that I'm using today. Very, very sorry. I hope you are forgiving me. So now from this shoulder that I divided, I connect it straight to meet with my breast point here. All right. Now, like I said, whatever I get from this my underbust here, 2 inches. This is 2 inches I got from this my underbust. I remove. Now when I come to this my upper bust, I will minus ½ inches from that 2 inches. So instead of 2 inches, I'll put 1.5. So it's 1.5 I put here. All right. Now I use my French curve to connect everything together. I take my French curve, I place it on top. Remember, I go up by 1, I come down by 1. I use my French curve, I place it on top that one I come down. Make sure that it plays together and touches the one I go in for my underbust that I remove from my underbust. Make sure you curve it not to get sharp edge there. Now I'm curving it. Now I take it again, I curve it to meet with this my upper bust here. After making this dress, you will be very, very happy that you watch this video. You will love your sewing. It will come out very well. Your bust will come out very, very well after making this dress. So see it, how I'm covering it. See where I stopped at this my upper bust here. Stop at this upper bust. Please remember to minus ½ from whatever you get from your under bust. Remove ½ inches at the upper bust part. Now after that, I will use my ruler now to connect it to meet with my first shoulder measurement. I will connect from here to my first shoulder measurement. This one is the one I added 2 inches. Now I take my ruler and place it to that first one, my first shoulder measurement that I say 8, and place it on top this my 1.5 inches to make it straight. Make it straight line. All right. I'm making the chalk bold so that you can see it very well. All right. So I've done that. Look at it. I make it straight to meet with my upper bust and connect it to meet with the one I go up to my breast point and curve it to my under bust. I follow you straight down. Now after that, the next thing to do now is to place my round bust measurement, all the measurements. Now first of all, I come to my bust. My round bust measurement is 42. 42 divided by 4 is 10 and a half, and this is my 10 and a half, like this. 10 and a half. Remember, this since I'm going to be cutting out 1 and a half, I add a 1 and a half plus my sewing allowance. That, let me just make everything 4 inches. I make everything 4 inches. You better you add enough allowance after sewing, you trim it off. Better add enough allowance after you sew finish, you trim the excess off. Now this is my bust measurement. I'm going to curve my armhole. I've curved my armhole. So the next one to place now is my under bust. My under bust is 8 and a half. My under bust is 8 and a half. This is 8 and a half. I'm going to be adding. Please, I didn't remove anything at this my middle part. If I be following my sewing, I don't normally remove anything from the from this my side, this side here. I don't normally remove that. Now it's 8 and a half is my under bust. I'm going to be adding what I will cut out, 2 inches plus my sewing allowance, 4 inches. Everything 4 inches. Everything is 4 inches. I hope you get it. The next one I will go again is my waist. My waist is 10 inches. 10 inches plus the 2 I'm going to be cutting out, this particular 2 here. I will add the 2 inches plus the sewing allowance. That makes it 4 inches. Now I come straight to my hip line. Now when you get your hip line, your round hip skirt is your round hip blouse. You don't need to measure any other things there. Whatever you're using for your hip skirt, that is what you use for your hip gown, because it's on top your hip. All right, my hip is 12 inches. I'll be cutting out 2 inches plus my sewing allowance. That makes it 4 inches. So I'm done with it now. So I'm going to connect everything together. I'm going to be connecting everything together. I hope you see what I'm doing here. This camera I'm using is making me not to see it very well, but I'm very, very sorry for this. Alright, so I've connected everything together. So I'm going to be cutting it now. I'm going to be cutting everything together before I'll go straight to the back parts. Alright, this is how you will start to cut it. You start cutting it from the down part here. Start cutting from here first. You can start to cut anywhere. Just follow the chalk. When you are cutting this your dress, follow your chalk. You can start to cut it from anywhere, but when you are cutting it, it's where you chalk you will cut. Don't just cut where you did not mark chalk. See what I'm cutting now? I'm showing all these things because I want you to get it right. Alright, so follow the curving. Is what you cut, that is what you will sew. Alright, follow the curving. See the shape of this upper bust side, and follow it straight. Now I've cut this side first. So I'm going to remove this particular one. Just cut it, follow that line and cut it straight. So this is what I remove. The next thing to cut now is the neck part. You can use any neck of your choice. So this is how it is. I'm done with it. So the next one to cut now is the back piece. So before that, let me remove all this side. All right. All right, I've cut it. This is the dress. So what we cut now is to notch the breast, the points. That notching part is very, very necessary. It's very, very important. It's for you to know where to sew. You don't need to time to sew it. You start looking for the part. I'm going to be notching everything. I'm going to notch both this my upper part here and notch my waist and notch my underbust so that I will know where to sew. So the next I'll be cutting now is the back part. Alright, this is the back part that I'll be cutting now. Please, if you have not subscribed before watching the video, do be well to subscribe on this by subscribe on this channel. Help me to subscribe. Help your girl. Thank you. The same way I place the front part, that is what I did at the back part. The only different way is that my front part, the shoulder part, I added 2 inches. But for the back part, what you add there is 1 inches. Alright. Everything is still the same thing. How I curve my armhole is still the same thing. The difference is just different. The neck width of the back is 3.5. The same 3.5 with the front. While the depth of it is 2 inches. It's 2 inches, alright. From the shoulder, measure 2 inches and connect it to meet with my 3.5. Now let me explain it very well. From this this is my normal underbust. My normal underbust that I say 16 inches. My waistline is 20 inches. From this my to get the connect the as in the breast points. Remember the back don't have points because of the dart and what to connect to my shoulder side. I still need my breast point there, the point. I just press it there. Remember I said I go up by 3 inches. Alright, for my underbust. From my underbust I go up by 3 inches. From there, this my shoulder again here. From this my neckline to my first shoulder, like I said for the front part, I'm going to divide it again. That is 5 inches. When I divide it, it's 5 inches. That 5 inches, I divide it into 2, is 2.5. Alright, it's still the same thing, like I said, it's 2.5. So I'm going to use my ruler or my tape to connect it to meet to the place I'm using as my point at the back part. Now I place my tape there, and this my breast, my shoulder that I divided into 2. Alright, and make sure that it touches this my point here. So I'm going to make it straight line. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing here. I'll be showing you step by step. You will get it. Or you will get it by the grace of God. It's very, very easy. I pray for you, you will get it. You will get it very, very perfectly. All you need to do is to follow what I'm doing. And even if you don't have fabric to do that, get any fabric and, practice it. Practice it. Follow the way. Wash it over and, you will get it right by the grace of God. You will get it right. So I connect it so that where I'm cutting it, my camera is not of that much. Alright, so I connect it like this. For where I take as my point, I make sure I connect it to meet with my shoulder that I divided from my neckline to my first shoulder. I divide it to 2. I got this middle here. As in, when I fold it like this, in case, just for you to understand, the middle part here is where I connect it. So that makes it my shoulder princess dart. My shoulder princess dart. So I take it. Remember I said my nipple to nipple is 5 inches. This nipple to nipple represents my dart measurement. I take it all the way to this my full length here. All the way to my full length. So what I'll do here, I'll come here that I call my point now. Where I call my back point now. From there, I'm going to minus ½ inches for my underbust here. ½ inches or 1 inches. You can take 1 inch, but don't take anything from this side. I don't do that in all my videos. I've tried it before. It's not working well. So I always follow this particular pattern, and it comes out for me very well. So from there, I'm going to connect it like this. Make sure that I place my tape on top this my point like this. I make this line like this. All right, see what I'm going to be doing here, and cut it like this. See what I'm doing here. So I'm going to be cutting it now. See what I make here. I hope you see it. From the point, I collect 1 inches. I make it straight down. So I place my tape on top here and make it sharp like that up to my full length. So I'll be cutting it. I'll be cutting from this side. I will cut it to my hair and follow it. That makes it my shoulder princess that. So after I've done with this one, the next thing to do is to place my normal my round bust measurement, my round waist measurement, and that. Now my round bust measurement is 10 and a half. It's 10 and a half. I'm going to be adding 4 inches to it all. Please add enough allowance. After you have done sewing, you can trim off the excess. It better you have enough material than you don't have. Now this is my underbust. My underbust is 8 and a half. It's 8 and a half. I'm going to be adding 4 inches. I'm going to add 4 inches. So after sewing it, I trim it off. All right. So the same thing. I say use your skirt round hip measurement for your blouse. Use it for your blouse. All right. Use it for your blouse. It's very, very necessary, because your blouse is will still sit on top your hip. So that is the reason why you will use it. You don't need to start to measure it again. Use your blouse hip measurement for your blouse. All right. So I'm going to connect everything and cut it now. I'm going to be cutting it now. So let me cut the down part for you to see it, like what I did for the front part. Like I say, I like to do my work so that you understand it. You can start to cut it anywhere you mark your chalk. So make sure you follow your chalk. Make sure you follow your chalk. Please, if you know you have not subscribed again, do me well to subscribe on this my channel. Help me, support me by subscribing on this my channel. Like this my video and share my video. Please support your sister, please. I'm begging you, support me on this my channel by subscribing on my channel. Just press down on that red button and subscribe for me, please. I'm begging you. So I'm going to be taking it now. Make sure you follow the chalk. See what I'm cutting there. So this is a back piece. After making this dress, he will thank me. All right. So this is the back part. The next thing to cut now is the neck. Is the neck part. So I'm done with this. Very, very easy. And try to notch it. I always tell you about notching. Notching is very, very important. So that do you know why this notching is important? It's because remember you have pieces everything. But when you want to join everything, you use this same you will know where you will place all the sewing. All right, you will know how to join everything without making it difficult. Just make sure that you place it, follow the notching, and it will be very, very easy for you. Now this particular dress I'm making today, I'm not adding anything there. I'm not adding interfacing on it. I'm not adding any even lining. I'm going to use the same fabric to turn the neck. I just want to make it very simple. All right, that is what I will do. I just want to make it very, very simple. But if you want to do yours, you use this particular dress to cut your lining. If you are attaching it, interfacing, wadding, use it to cut it. After you are done, you use your iron to iron everything down, and it's good to go. So that is how to cut this shoulder princess. That's very easy to cut. Just give it a try. You will see how easy it comes out. So the next, this is a part 1 of this. The cutting is the part 1. I'll be making the sewing. That sewing will be the part 3 because